Hello everyone, this is me Garima Singh. I hope you are doing well. Today I'm gonna discuss the class 9 economics Ncert chapter 2 people as a resource. Firstly I will discuss crux, then I will discuss questions. So just move on to the topic. Here it's more about of this chapter people as a resource. We will discuss how people work as a resource. So, population of a nation can be it asset rather than liability if it's useful, if it's producing something more useful. People as a resource refer to a country working people in terms of their existing productive skill and liability, like who are giving productive skill, like those who are employed. They work as a people as a resource when existing human resources developed by becoming educated and healthy it turn into human capital. Human capital is a superior to other resource like land and physical capital as it use these capitals and adds value to them. Investment in a human capital, um, how you invest in human capital through education and medical care can give high return in futures. Country like Japan have invested a lot in human resource. They do not have rich natural resource, but still they are called developed nation because they have invested in human capital through education, through health facilities. Human beings perform many activities which can be grouped into economic and non-economic activities. Firstly, we discuss what are the economic activities that produce a profit and you get profit out of it. These are economic activities. Economic activities refer to those activities of a man, done by man or woman, which are undertaken for a monetary gain or to satisfy his or her want. For example, the activities of worker, farmer, shopkeeper, manufacturer, doctor, lawyer, taxi, whatever the number of type of job where they get income. These fall under the category of economic activities. Now we will discuss market activity and non-market activity. So let's in this we will discuss about economic activity are called market and non-market activity are production for self-consumption. So we have discussed economic activity. Now we will discuss non-economic activities. So non-economic activities are ones that are not undertaken for only any monetary gains. These are also called unpaid activities. Example like people do puja part, housekeeping, helping the poor or disabled, etc. These are non-economic activity. Basically, you can classify the economic activity in three forms, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. The primary sector include activities like agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry, farming, mining. So then in this sector good are produced by exploiting nature. Then secondary sector, that is manufacturing sector, is a part of economic. So here raw material convert into finished goods. Then come the tertiary sector. It is also called service sector because this sector provides various type of services like transport, education, banking, health, insurance, tourism, more number of services. So in India traditionally there is a division of labor between men and women. Activities of women. Women generally look after domestic affairs like cooking of food, washing of clothes, cleaning of utensils, housekeeping, and looking after children. So, in short, I would say that human capital is a stock of skill and productive knowledge embedded in human beings. Populations become human capital when it is provided with better education, training, healthcare facilities. So, if you invest these in human, they will give you a high value of return in future, and they will convert into resource also. So that is human capital. Now we will discuss quality of population. The quality of population basically depend upon the literacy rate, life expectancy, and skill formation required by the people of the country. Now we will discuss education. So education is the most important component of human resource development. It contributes toward the growth of the society, enhance the national income, cultural richness, and increases efficiency of governance. Literacy is even between male and female. Males are more literate. It also varies with the urban and rural area. Urban population is more literate compared to the rural one. There were I'm telling you the data of 2004-5. There was a 7.68 lakh school by 2004, but education is diluted by poor quality of schooling and high dropout rates. Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan is a significant step toward providing elementary education to all children below the age of 14, where they provide midday meal also. Then, so here they are providing two main thing: education and health. Then we will talk about the next topic, that is health. Where it is? Where the hell? Yeah, here it is. Health is another very important component of human resource development. Efficiency of worker largely depend upon their health. So there has been considerable improvement in the country health standard. Infant mortality rate is the death rate of child under 1 year of age. India has built up fast health infrastructure, but still much more is needed to be done. There are various government initiatives also done in the field of health sector, as well as various programs have carried out to lessen the infant mortality rate and other. So these you can say come into the health. Then unemployment. Unemployment is said to exist when people who are willing to work at the prevailing wage rate cannot find job. When we talk of unemployed people, we refer to those in the age group of 15 to 59 years. Children below 15 year of age and the old above are not considered while counting the number of, so it should be 15 to 59. Then we will discuss nature of unemployment in India. So seasonal unemployment occur when people fail to get work during some month of the year, that is during off season. So farm labor usually face this kind of problem. In India you will find seasonal and disguised unemployment. So seasonal and disguised, because they will not get off season work. So disguised unemployment is another kind of unemployment found in rural areas. Such kind of problem arises due to excessive pressure of population or agriculture. So disguised unemployment refer to a situation where the number of workers in a job is more than actually required to do the job. The extra number of workers are disguised unemployed. Increase in unemployment is an indicator of depressed economy. Seasonal unemployment is during rainy season people get work, or when there is seasonal requirement is it basically relate to the agriculture as well as other seasonal job. So off season they will not get a job. Next we will discuss the consequence of unemployment. Unemployment lead to wastage of manpower. Unemployment tend to increase the economic overload, that is dependence of the unemployed on the working population. Unemployment may lead to increase in social unrest and tension. Now we will discuss the question and answer of this chapter, because I have already tell you the crux. So let's quickly move to the question. First is what do you understand by people as a resource? So people as a resource is a way of referring to the country's working population in terms of their existing productive skill and ability. Next is how is human resource different from other resource like land and physical capital. So in the second, right, human resource makes use of other resource like land and physical capital to produce an output. The other resource cannot become useful on their own. This is the reason why human resource is considered to be superior to the other resource. Next is what is the role of education in human capital formation? Education is the most important component of human resource development. Proper education and training enable the formation of this human capital. An educated population is an asset, a resource. Education enhances the quantity and quality of individual productivity, which in turn adds to the growth of the economy. Then it develops personality and sense of national concise among the people, which are important for rapid economic growth. Next is what is the role of health in human capital formation? So Health play an important role in human capital formation. A healthy person is more likely to realize his full potential and can become an asset for the economy. An unhealthy person is less likely to realize his potential and can become a liability for the economy. Then fifth is, what part does healthy play in individual working life? Health, basically. What does part does health play in an individual working life? So in this you can write what was this question? Oh, this is the fifth question. Okay. No, I just okay. I have just discussed education. Now we'll discuss health. So I think I'm done with the capital formation. Okay, let's move on to the question number fourth. Health play an important role. A healthy person is more likely to realize his full potential and can become an asset for the economy. An unhealthy person is less likely to realize his potential and can become a liability for the economy. Let's move on to the fifth question, that is, what part does health play in individual working life? So, the health of an individual helps him to realize his potential and also gives him the ability to fight illness. And an unhealthy individual is a liability to his place of work. The health of a person is directly related to his efficiency. As compared to an unhealthy individual, a healthy person can work more efficiently and with greater productivity. Let's discuss the sixth question. What are the various activities undertaken in the primary sector, secondary, and tertiary? This question is very easy. Primary sector comprises activities related to the extraction and production of natural resources, like activities like agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry, farming, mining, and quarrying are the activities undertaken in this sector. Then, and secondary comprises activities related to the processing of natural resource. Basically, raw material is converted into finished good that done in manufacturing sector. Then tertiary comprises activity that provides support to the primary and secondary sector through various services like trade, transport, communication, banking, health, tourism, insurance, and number of services you can write here. Next is, what is the difference between economic activity and non-economic activities? So here you can write activities that add value to the national income are called economic activities. These are two parts: market activity, that is production for pay or profit, and non-market activity, production for self-consumption. That is a part of economic activity. The non-economic activity are the ones that do not add to the national income. For example, an individual performing domestic chores. So that is non-economic activities. Next is, why are women employed in low paid work? Education and skill are the measured determinants of the earning of any individual in the market. Due to gender discrimination, women are generally denied the education and the necessary skill to become worthy contributor to the national income. As a result, a majority of the women have meager education and low skill formation. This is one of the reasons why they get paid less than men. Next is, how will you explain the term unemployment? So, unemployment is a situation in which people who are able and willing to work at the uh, going wages and cannot find jobs. An individual is termed as unemployed if he or she is a part of the workforce of a country and is capable and willing to work for payment but is unable to do work. He is capable but he is not getting work. That is unemployment. Then, 10th question, what is the difference between disguised unemployment and seasonal unemployment? So, firstly, I will discuss disguised unemployment. Disguised unemployment, when more persons are working in a job than actually required. This situation is termed as disguised unemployment. For example, if in an agriculture activity 8 people are engaged but this work activity actually requires the service of 5 people, then 3 persons are extra. If these 3 people out of 8 are withdrawn, total production will remain unaffected. Then we will discuss seasonal unemployment. So, seasonal unemployment occur when people are able to find job only during some month of the year. For example, agriculture labor find work only during the busy season, that is sowing, harvesting, weeding, and threshing. This is because of the seasonal character of agriculture in India. Next, why is educated unemployed a peculiar problem of India? So listen this question carefully. Educated unemployment is the situation where a number of youth with matriculation, graduation, and post-graduation degrees are not able to find suitable job. India has a huge population, and every year a large number of people graduate from school and college. Employment generation in various sectors not keeping pace with the number of educated people coming out of education institution. Due to this, educated unemployed is a peculiar problem of India. Next is in which field do you think India can build the maximum employment opportunities? India can build the maximum employment opportunity in the agriculture sector, and it is based industry. Agriculture is the most labor absorbing sector of the economy. When the efficient and quality packaging happen with agriculture product, then it can generate a lot of employment opportunity. Next is, can you suggest some measures in the education system to mitigate the problem of the educated unemployment unemployed person? So first is make education at the secondary level more career oriented, which would endow individual with not only education but also the requisite skill for gaining successful employment. Then create a sort of screening process whereby each individual choose subject that suit his or her ability. Then the introduction of newer subject and field of study at the school level should be accompanied by a growth of job opportunities in the sector that would employ the student electing to study such subjects. So subject should be career oriented. Then this is kind of, can you imagine some village which initially had no this kind of you can do this question by yourself. It's kind of activity kind of question. You can write even a hypothetical also, hypothetical village name, like we read in first chapter Palampur. Like this you can read in your own self, but there was job opportunities. So in this question you have to find a hypothetical one and read your do write your ideas in this question. Next is 15th. Which capital would you consider the best? Land, labor, physical, and human. Undoubtedly, human capital. Human capital makes use of other resource like land, labor, and physical capital to produce an output. The other resource cannot become useful on their own. Hence, human capital me will be considered the best among all the resources. So, I'm done with this chapter. I've discussed the crux as well as solution of this chapter. If you want to listen it, just listen it in repeat mode, or if you left out the first chapter, you haven't read about it, just watch my previous lecture on this. That's for today. Thank you.